Welcome back to Catching Up, and I'm doing a review today of Ant-Man. If you saw my favourite films last year list, you'd see that I'm a fan of the Marvel movies. I loved Captain America Winter Soldier and Guardians of the Galaxy, and they were both of my favourite films of last year list. For me, Phase 2 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe has been kind of mixed, and I think a lot of people's opinions have been very mixed about them. Because there's things like Iron Man 3 I didn't like, For the Dark World I thought was okay. Then there was two really great ones with Captain America Winter Soldier and Guardians of the Galaxy. And this year, the two films from this year have massively split people. People seem to either love Avengers 2 and Ant-Man or hate them. Personally, I think they're really good films. I can definitely understand why a lot of people wouldn't like them. Yeah, it's not Ant-Man as much. I'm not really sure why a lot of people don't like that. But Avengers 2, I could definitely see why people didn't like it, and I understood everyone's criticisms. But yeah, so Ant-Man, I was looking forward to this film. Originally it was going to be Edgar Wright making it. They've actually been working on the film for like 9 years now. It's been in production. They kept getting delayed, and eventually Edgar Wright left because Marvel weren't letting him do what he wanted. But he still has screenplay credits, so I don't know how much of his screenplay they actually used in the final film. They may not have used any of it. I think they just used his story and maybe a few jokes or something in there. But yeah, but I think for the most part this is completely different to Edgar Wright's movie. And it doesn't feel like an Edgar Wright movie. It'll be interesting to see what his version would have been like. But all in all, I think this is a really good film. It's the first action movie from the director Peyton Reed. He previously has directed a lot of comedies. He directed Yes Man, the Jim Carrey movie from a few years ago, which I thought was actually pretty good, quite underrated, and then a bunch of rom-coms. So yeah, it was quite a weird choice for the film, but I think he did a really good job with the action scenes. The action scenes are actually really, really good. So I'll go over the plot quickly before expanding upon my opinion of the film. So the film is about, what's his name? I've already forgotten it, and I only saw it yesterday. Scott Lang. I should know this, but Scott Lang, played by Paul Rudd, he basically is released from prison, and he was arrested for, basically he robs people. That's kind of what he does. He a cat burglar, and he wants to see his daughter and wants to like be with her, but the mother of the daughter and the stepfather basically say that you have to get your own apartment, get a job and everything, get money, and then we'll talk about visitation rights and stuff. So he decides that instead of waiting around, he's going to do another heist and get money so he can actually pay for this stuff, actually see his daughter. So he pulls this heist on this guy's house, and inside finds out no money or anything. He's like this really elaborate like locking system and everything, and steals this suit, and he takes it home, wears it, and then presses a button and it shrinks him. So then we find out that it was a guy called Hank Pym, who we see in the first scene, who left his own company, or was he kicked out? I can't remember. But yeah, he had this shrinking technology that he wanted to hide away, afraid of what it would do. So he basically recruits Scott and basically says to him, we need you to break into my ex building, because the new leader of the company is really close to recreating the technology to make people small, and if he ends up recreating it, he's going to use it for bad. I think he was selling it to the Russians or something. They always sell things to the Russians. In movies, Russians seem to be the most evil people in the world. They're always the villains. But yeah, he's selling it to people, and basically they have to stop him. They have to break in and steal the suit and stop the bad guy. It's more than just an action movie, more than just a superhero movie that you'd expect it to be. It's a heist movie, which I thought was actually a really smart move. What I liked with Captain America Winter Soldier is they had that whole element of 1970s espionage thriller elements in there. So it's nice to see them actually try something new, and they definitely tried something new with Ant-Man. This is not your average superhero movie. This actually tries to be something different, and it definitely works. It's got a lot of comedy in there. It's a very, very funny film. In fact, it's funnier than Ted 2. I'm always going to talk about Ted 2 as the low point of this year in movies. So every time I'm talking about a film that I like, that's a comedy, or a film that I don't like, I'll say things like, this is a funnier film than Ted 2, or if it's a bad film, I'll say, this is surprisingly still not as bad as Ted 2, because fuck that film. So yeah, this is actually a really, really funny film. The jokes, it's not a full-on comedy. The jokes aren't constantly being thrown at you. They do come at you. There's at least one joke pretty much every scene, especially when Scott Lang or Paul Rudd is on the screen. His character is a very wisecracking guy. Reminds me a bit of Tony Stark in the first Iron Man, or in all the Iron Mans actually, but not as old. So yeah, there are some really, really funny scenes in the film that actually I could not stop laughing about. I think it's in the trailer. I think someone was saying it was in the trailer that there's a scene on a toy train set that is so funny. That it's the final action scene, basically. The final 20 minutes is essentially a big fight between Scott Lang as Ant-Man and the villain of the film. They basically both have the suits. They're shrinking and getting bigger, and they're fighting each other, and it's a really, really well done scene, really exciting. But they just keep throwing jokes in there as well, and it really works. There's a bit where they're inside this toolbox, and I think it was Ant-Man accidentally presses the voice control on an iPhone and says, "I will disintegrate you," and then the iPhone goes, "Playing Disintegration by The Cure," and that bit made me laugh. Yeah, the train set bit made me laugh even harder than I thought I would laugh at anything in this film. It was really, really funny. And yeah, so the action sequences are all really good. For the most part, it doesn't have much action because it's a heist movie, so it has a lot of exposition and stuff. There's a lot of planning and training Scott Lang to be Ant-Man, to be able to do the things that he can do at the end of the film. In fact, there's a really great montage in there, and there's also a lot of with the final heist. It's just like your average heist movie, or not really average, just like it's a good heist scene. It's not got tons of action, but it's incredibly tense, and everything's building up, and it's really, really well directed, well edited. It's a really exciting scene. I like heist movies, and I think they did a really good job with this one. And the script is really good. I know if Edgar Wright's script was if it ended up being used at all, it would mean that there would be 4 writers on the entire film. I didn't even know if Paul Rudd was apparently one of the people who wrote it. I don't know if he was just improvising a lot and they credited him, or whether he actually wrote bits of it. I don't know. But yeah, if there's 4 writers on the film, they did a good job. A lot of the time when you have that many writers on a film, the film can end up feeling very convoluted and a bit of a mess. But this one actually worked really well. It had a great script, and it was really well directed. Everything about this film is good. So yeah, I just sat down. I didn't really care whether it was good or bad. I just wanted to have a good time, as I do with pretty much all the Marvel films. I always expect them to have something interesting and unique about them, but essentially I just watch these films to be entertained, as do a lot of people, and this film is definitely entertaining, and it also has very smart twists on the superhero genre. It's definitely not like every other superhero movie. As I said, it's similar to Captain America Winter Soldier, where they try to do something new, and even kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy, where that's not really a superhero movie, that's more of like a space opera, and that also is fantastic. So yeah, I like that they're not just doing superhero movies. Now we're starting to get to a point of oversaturation of superhero movies, so for them to actually try something new, it's interesting. I like them actually trying something new instead of just copying the same formula over and over again. Yet there are the formula and stuff that you see in every other superhero movie, but at least they actually throw in the heist twist to it and they make it something different. So I really liked that aspect of the film. As I said, it's very funny. The action sequences are all really good. Scott Lang is a really likeable character. I really like Paul Rudd, and I think he did a really good job in this film. He was kind of surprising. I don't think a lot of people expected him to be able to pull off the action star character, but luckily, because he has a lot of humour and because he's wisecracking and stuff, that's probably easier for him to play, because he makes a lot of jokes as well as kicking ass, and yeah, he's really good in the film. In fact, every actor in the film is really good. Yeah, I don't know really what else there is to say. The film is really, really good. I don't understand why people have disliked it. I think it was a great movie. It's definitely one of my favourites from the year. I'm not sure whether I prefer this over Age of Ultron or not. I like both films, but I'll probably say I do prefer this over Age of Ultron, because yeah, Age of Ultron, it does have a lot of problems. I like that movie a lot. It's definitely going to be on my top favourite films of the year list, at least unless I watch like 8 more films that I prefer. I haven't actually watched that many films this year, so I haven't even got 10 on the list yet. So yeah, unless something comes along and like loads of films come along and completely knock it off the list, I see that being on the list, maybe quite low. But yeah, Ant-Man will definitely be on the list. Not in like the top 3 or 4, maybe 5 or 6, I'm not sure. But this will definitely be on the list. So yeah, I definitely recommend you go see Ant-Man. Whether you're a fan of superhero movies or heist movies, I think there's something to enjoy for everyone, really. Well, not everyone, but if you're a fan of superhero or heist movies, yeah, so I guess that's all I really have to say. So thanks for watching, guys. Oh yeah, I haven't given this a rating. I'd give it maybe like a 9, 8.5 out of 10 maybe. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.